Hey, welcome to another episode of Your Faith and Health Community. I'm your host, Pastor Jackie Jackson, and as always, on behalf of myself, as well as our producer, Anita Alexander, we want to thank you very much for joining us. Taking time out of your day, spend a little time with us. Now, you know, before I get started, I'm going to jump on my soapbox about healthcare. If you have not gotten enrolled in health insurance, well, if you didn't, open enrollment is over. It ended in December. But if you qualify for one of the life-changing events, you recently gotten married, congratulations. Recently had a baby, congratulations. Recently got divorced. I don't know, maybe congratulations, that's up to you, I'm not sure. If you're recently coming home from a correctional institution, started a new job, just moved into the state of Ohio, that makes you eligible to enroll in health care through the marketplace. That's at www.healthcare.gov. You can go in, I believe there's maybe 127 different plans for you to choose from. Now, if you're single, and your income is $16,243 or less, that makes you eligible for Medicaid. The good thing about Medicaid is it's open year-round. In fact, there's never any open enrollment because it never closes. If you are a family of 4 and your income combined or just by one is $44,550 or less, that makes your family eligible for Medicaid. You don't have to go to the marketplace. In fact, you can't go to the marketplace, and that's good because your income trying to pay in the marketplace based on that ratio would really be a hardship, and that's what they didn't want. So, again, if you make $16,000, it's $16,243 or less, you can apply for Medicaid. Whether you're going to the marketplace, whether you're getting Medicaid, it makes no sense for anyone not to have health insurance. One hospital stay, in some cases, one emergency room visit can decimate your bank account. One of the leading causes of bankruptcy today is medical bills. Medical bills are astronomical. And for some people, if you're taking certain medication, that medication, if you had to pay for it by yourself, could be $300, $400, $500, $600 for a small bottle of pills or whatever it is, inhalers or whatever you're taking. So listen, I'm not going to harp on this as long as I normally do. Just go get insured. And if you don't want to do it for you, do it for your family. Do it for your wife, your husband, your children, your mom, your dad. Just go do it. Let's say just do it. Yeah, I know I took that from somewhere. I'm not going to say that. Also, right. I want to add this again, that in the United States, every day, 96 people per day die from gun violence. And so that you understand, suicide by gun is considered gun violence. And we're having 96 people die. And you know what? I'm not even going to say what that number is of African American men, because we are having African American men die at an alarming rate, and the worst part is we're killing each other at an alarming rate. So when you look at that 96 people per day, you can bet your bottom dollar the majority of them are African American men. And I'm saying that because I know the statistic, but I can't remember the exact number. So I don't want to give you some made up number and say it's 50% or whatever. But I'm telling you, the majority are African American, black males. And the worst part is we are the biggest perpetrators of ourselves, predators of ourselves. Stop it. Just stop it. Okay, I'm done. I'm back. Hey, listen, you were here before, and you know we have the cast of Holiness or Hell. It's a gospel stage production written by Trina Best. It's an awesome piece. Let me tell you, this piece, this production right here, I don't think there's anybody that'll listen to me or will come to the show that is not either in the place, know someone in the place, and in some cases, you may be in one of these characters' places right now. Just a quick reintroduction, we have Butcher, or we have Tiger Graham, formerly of Silk, formerly Bobby Tyler Perry's I Can Do Bad All By Myself. I believe you done Sister, right? Any Given Sunday. Weren't you in Any Given Sunday? Any Given Sunday. You probably saw both of us in there. I was in the other room. Y'all didn't get and to the left, we have Phyllis Evans of Faith to Faith Outreach Ministry. She's playing Mother Rosalie. I don't know where Lisa came from. Next to her, also playing her son, Butcher is her son. Next to her playing her son is Jerome Johnson playing Micah. And then we have Aunt Minnie right here, played by Tina Best. And on the end, we have the gangster. She's the gangster lady, Marva Hammonds. And when we left off, we left off coming to Marva and Jerome. And so we're going to start with Marva, who's playing Repo. You are playing a gangster. And I know you. So you're not a gangster. Right? I mean, you're very awesome. Love your personality, sweet personality, woman of God. But in this piece, you're playing the bad person. Let's talk about that. What's that like to have that role?
I'm being stretched. Getting the experience to really apply my God-given desire of acting. So to do this role, there is a God.
But you're probably working with some very compassionate, easygoing, understanding, pushover person that's directing it to do that. And we have rehearsal tonight.
Yes.
But tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, I have a passion, and it's always been my desire to act, and I believe that, again, I'm being stretched. And I'd like to thank you for the, yes, because it's a stretch, because I have to not smile, I have to be hard. Yeah, I gotta be a gangster, a boss. I'll put it, I'm a boss. So, this character for me, it makes you study hard. Thanks to you for giving me the opportunity to,
Thanks to God.
well, to God, but God put you in my life and you chose me for a role that's challenging. So I'm going to do the best that I can. And
Well, you're going to do an awesome job.
yes.
Yes, you are.
Do the best that God can, and you'll do a whole lot.
There you go.
Amen.
There you go.
So, Jerome, now, I've known you for a few years, but it's always been when we're doing Black Nativity, behind the keyboards, directing all the musicians. So then I think it was last year you sung one of
One of the songs.
I can't remember. What's it? It wasn't "Shifting the Atmosphere," but from Jonathan. I can't remember his name now.
Yeah.
And so then you bloomed out a little bit more. I didn't know you even sung. I just knew you were back there yelling at the musicians. But really playing some awesome music, especially through Black Nativity and Cincinnati Black Theater Company. I believe this past Black Nativity was our 16th year, if I remember correctly, doing it. And it's always an anointed piece. And for you all, and to direct the musicians and really get that going, because Black Nativity is the type production where we've had to hold up a lot of times because either the audience is running or on the floor, or the cast members are running or on the floor. So that makes it really awesome. You're the minister. You're the minister of music?
Yes, sir.
At New Prospect,
Baptist Church.
Pastor Damon Lynch III.
Yes.
So you have a nice long run, but you're playing Micah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you act. So I've learned a lot about you in the last few months, other than you sitting behind a keyboard playing. So what is it like playing? And tell us about the minister of music and how you got there. But first, what is it like playing Micah? Because you have a very interesting character.
It's the funny part about Micah is it's almost flipped for me. I have two younger brothers, so I can remember my dad always saying to me, I got to be hard on you because your brothers are looking up to you. And so it's almost like the flip. I got two big brothers, but I can see the the connection of Micah and his big brothers. It's like I want to be like one of them. I want to be like both of them. I'm kind of in between everybody. I love my mama, but I think I'm the hardest thing going. I don't know. So it's just fun. It's like, it reminds me of my little brother. I joke with my little brother all the time because he's just like, you know, he's the most spoiled one, but the most hardest one in the world. But I choose to do good. But again, like I said, I'm watching and I'm learning and I'm trying to find myself in that whole piece. That's kind of the character of Mike. And so I love doing it. I've acted for some years. My later years is more music based, but even growing up, I did a couple plays. I was able to do some plays at my locally, and then I've done some plays, some universities here in the city. I was able to be a part of a production Fences, Fences over at Xavier University, as well as Aida. Okay, cool. Over at Xavier University, and so it's kind of like I love to act. I'm goofy by nature, but I love to act. I think it stretches me to kind of use the gifts that God has given me, and I thank God for that. Musically, I've done a lot of things. I've written some songs all over the country, and so that's a good thing. I mean, I'm just here to enjoy and bask in His presence, and then hopefully just push across the message from the city. I'm also a school administrator, so I watch a lot of. I work with a lot of butchers.
What school are you at?
I'm with Don Community School. I got the shirt on, so he owes me for this. No, but Don Community School is a charter school here in the city, credit recovery school, and we really focus on changing the lives of our city youth, a young adult, and it's interesting because I see the butchers every day. I see them, and I work with them, and I try to get them to understand that life is more than what you see, and more than your environment, more than what you think you have to be. You got to just pray and then reach for God and let God kind of do the rest. And so that's kind of my everyday role outside of being the minister of music of the church. So I enjoy it.
It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So Tiger.
Yes, sir.
Silk.
I grew up on that.
Right.
And I'm not sure if I've ever heard a Silk song. I heard they're pretty interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard that too. Yeah. I heard that too.
So let's talk a little bit. I know you guys just did Unsung.
Yeah.
And
Very
so
refreshing.
talk a little bit about that. Especially, I think, and a lot of people know the artist once they've made it, right?
Yeah.
But not realizing the work, the hard work.
Yeah.
Sometimes to use that, the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into getting you where you're trying to go.
Right.
And people didn't just, although it may seem like to the audience, they blew up overnight.
Right.
There's a work and a process. So talk about Silk, but not just the multi-platinum part of Silk,
Right.
but talk a little bit about the Silk that maybe was hungry.
Yeah.
You know, that hungry part of Silk.
Well, it was a hungry part of Silk in two ways. Because we were hungry young men, and like what people don't know, we're church guys. Our family is church. You know what I mean? My grandfather was a pastor, and almost 7 feet tall. You know what I mean? And we grew up in humble beginnings, but you know, we didn't know too much about material stuff growing up. But we was always in church. You know, and a couple of us got interested in the street life. You know, and we dabbled and dabbled in that stuff and saw a lot of things. But the way Silk really came about was my father was, and it's crazy because we already had this conversation, how it affects me. When I was 18 years old, my father was shot in the head in his sleep. So he was taken away from me at 18. So I never had a chance to grow up with a father due to somebody shoot my dad in his sleep with the hollow point bullet, which is designed to eat up your brain. So once they hit him, once he was shot in the head, that bullet just destroyed his brain. So he had no time. He never came back from that. You know, but that because my dad was a singer in his own right too. And I felt compelled to do something to honor my dad's memory, so me and my cousins started the group Silk. That's how Silk got started. One day in the living room, and me and my cousin Jimmy, which is so crazy because, as you know, and I can just say this, he just lost his dad this weekend, which was my dad's best friend, and he was like my father, but not my father. And so it's crazy to even sit here and be talking about this situation, and you know it happened. But what people don't know about Silk is that we really try to be regular young men, but God had a call on our life for real, on our family. I come from a family of singers, a family of artists, a family of lawyers, doctors, politicians, police. Our family is blessed beyond our own measures, man. And the thing about us was we never lost sight of who we are or who we were. Silk does not define us. It's what we did and what we do. You know what I mean? And there were times that you know we didn't want to do it no more. You know, and you know, but what people don't understand about that is, you know, if you don't put stuff in perspective as an artist, as a singer or whatever, and you want to walk around talking about what you are and you want to poke your chest out, you ain't offending nobody but God. He gonna shut you down. And you know, a lot of people don't know why stuff happens. And we were not the only group that was out back then, but we were always the best group. Nobody could touch us. We was always better than everybody else. We argued, we fought, we cousins, basically brothers. So we fought before shows, we did all that. But at the end, we realized that we had something special, you know what I mean? Even though a lot of us did certain stuff that deterred us from different situations, we never lost sight of the fact that we brothers, we family. And that kept us going. And I take pride in being able to just talk about it, because before Unsung, a lot of people didn't know the story. So we couldn't talk about it. But now people know the story, and they looking at me like, for real? I didn't know that, but that's what it is. But to make everybody understand how this works in this business, none of these artists that you see on TV, on the radio, got there without God putting them there.
Amen.
And what happens when you get there determines on how much you give him reverence for you getting there. That's when you fall down on it. When you lose focus of why you're there, he's like, okay, let me remind you that I am the I am. So let me take you up off that pedestal and sit you down for a minute. Then some of us recover and come back, others don't. In the case of Silk, everybody understands Silk ain't never stopped. You know what I mean? Cash is going through certain stuff, you know. And if you go look at the Unsung episode, I'm not saying nothing that was not said. You know, we had a situation with drugs. We had situations with going to jail. We had situations with cats losing money. So we were very creative in making sure we could survive as young men. You know what I mean? And thank God we're here. And by me being a young man that lost my dad to gun violence, I didn't even understand what that meant at 18. I just knew I ain't got my daddy no more. And the sad thing about it, when he was shot, you know what I mean? Me and you talked about this. I'm in the room while he's on the breathing machine by myself and looking at my dad can't breathe. And he's breathing with the machine. And it's something everybody talk about. I say, man, I could not sing the way I sing now until after I walked out of that room. And I know what you're saying. I know that look. You looking at me. I know he breathed. God allowed that transference to happen when I was in that room for me to become who I am. All of my skills elevated that day. So, and then all of a sudden I get the inkling, I'm in college and I get the inkling to start a group. So I knew it was meant to be. So when I sit here and I think about plays and stuff that I'm doing and I understand how blessed I am to do it, and then I sit around and I see people wish for, like you just said, the days of hungry, the days of lack. People wish to be stars. And I ain't putting nobody that's a star's business out there, but that check don't keep rolling in like you think it do. And it's a lot of stars that are hungry right now, but they're on TV. But that residual check has stopped coming in because your deal said only for this amount of time, so you're not getting paid no more. And you walking around broke, busted, disgusted, and embarrassed because you don't have nothing to show for what you did, but everybody look at you like that. I thank God He gave my family the understanding, because my aunts, my mama, I say Barbara Ann, what's up, Barbara Ann? My mom, they didn't play that, bro. You gotta do something. Okay, you can sing, so what? What if your vocal cords jump out of your throat tomorrow? Then where you going?
That's it.
Okay, so that's what I don't like about the misconception of the hunger, and I'm glad you put it out there. You got to stay hungry to keep getting fed.
Amen.
By God, though.
Yeah.
You know, you can't be hungry for fame. You can't be hungry for a record deal. You can't be hungry for money. You can't be hungry for all that. Like, Anita sells $1 million houses. Okay, guess what? Those people work hard to get their money to get approved by her. She can't work a miracle and get you in no house. You got to put in the work to get it done. So a lot of people think because you got a gift, you're going to automatically be given something. That's crazy. That's crazy. But if you don't understand that as a person and you glued to the TV, you want to be Beyonce and have no idea that that girl cannot do nothing but stay in shape. She cannot eat a hamburger or some fries and some ice cream and chill out, because guess what? As soon as they see her out of shape, oh my God. Perfect example, Janet Jackson. That's real life. If you're not working out every day, not eating stuff, drinking, you're not gonna do it. So that part of the stardom and when you forget God is the reason for your gifts, you fall off, and your hunger becomes hatred. Now you hate somebody else because you lost the hunger to be what God wanted you to be, because you want to have all this money.
Right.
It's about that, you know. And I say this, Jackie. Anytime Jackie call me, I'm coming, because me and Jackie got some history. Jackie used to manage me. He don't talk about it, but he was my manager in a very tumultuous time when I was angry with the world. I had a lot of talent and everything. And one day in particular, he stopped me from probably going to jail. I would have been locked up for the rest of my life if I would have went. This is real, and this is me being honest with myself. Had Jackie not been there that day, I would have done something that would have destroyed my whole life. I promise you it would have. And I thank God for putting people like that in my life, Jackie in my life. But when we talk about this hunger, man, and I tell everybody this, and this is something you can take from me forever. If you lose the hunger to please God, you dead anyway. That's it. You already dead. You already dead. It don't matter who. Can't no gun deal with you like God can. Straight up. Gun violence is real, but if you lose sight of who and what and why you are, it's a wrap.
What do they say? Fear not.
Yes.
Man that can destroy your life.
Yes.
But God that can destroy your soul.
That's it. That's it.
That's a whole different.
That's it. So we stay hungry, man. We have conversations. As a matter of fact, on the way up, I was on the phone talking to my cousin Jim, who just lost his dad. You know, we trying to work through it, man. But we still stunned, and not to mention we just lost our auntie 4 weeks ago, which is the one that kept Silk together. She the reason why we were Silk, because she let us live in a house. She let us, we got in trouble. One of us in jail. Guess what she doing? She ain't telling our mama she come and get us. They didn't even know we were locked up. Well, all they thought we was at her house. Just lost her 4 weeks ago. So to lose someone that was so instrumental in our growth and understanding, and then come around and lose this situation, it put everything in perspective for all of us. And I'm glad I'm here. I know I was booked for this show a long time ago, but now it's like I needed to get away and get around people that gave me the good energy so I can stay focused, because it ain't easy dealing with tragedy like that, and especially when you're meant to be strong. They don't look at you like you got a break. Everybody want to be a superstar, but superstars break down daily.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Why you think they go to crazy? Why you think people go to suicide? We were talking about suicide. They go crazy because the expectation is so great.
Yeah.
You can't do that stuff, man. You human. You know, God, you not God. So how can you great? So I'm gonna stay hungry until I can't stay hungry no more.
Amen.
So that's where I'm at.
We're going to do that too.
Amen.
Just real quick, because we have about 4 minutes. So what I want to do is, I want to start with you, Jerome.
Okay.
Just real quick about this, just something real quick about the school. Let's talk about that. Just quick about it.
About Don.
Yeah.
Listen, Credit Recovery School, I think this is kind of really the new millennium school. I mean, we come in, we encourage anybody who is lacking in credits, anybody who's looking for just a new start. We have multiple programs at our school. So we teach 9th grade through 12th grade, but then we also teach, we have opportunities from 18 to 21. And then we also have a program called our 22 Plus program that's 22 all the way on up, that you get your diploma. It's not a GED program, it's a diploma program. And so we've had, since December, we've graduated 400 and some odd students. Since December this year of 17. And so please come check us out. Even if you're adult, again, come check us out. I mean, we have multiple campuses here in the city, and so we can meet you in your need as far as where you live. I mean, it's just amazing. So come check us out.
Where's your school?
Amen.
Listen, holiness or hell. You got a choice. Choose you this day who you gonna serve, because that's gonna determine where you gonna live eternity.
Amen.
Throughout eternity.
Yes, Lord.
Holiness or hell, June 22nd and 23rd. June 22nd at 7 p.m. June 23rd at 2 and 7 p.m. Come out. Come see Tiger Graham. Come see Phyllis Evans. Come see Tina Best. Come see Jerome Jordan, and come see Marva Hammonds. You won't see me except I'm walking around, but you can come see me if you want to anyway, right? Listen. For real. Get health care. For real. Get health care. Your health goes, everything goes. You can be as rich as Bill Gates, and if your health goes, all the billions will just go to someone else and you'll be gone. And I don't know if I'm talking to any billionaires, but you are a billionaire in the blessings that God has bestowed upon you.
Amen.
And so we need to be good stewards of our bodies. We need to be good stewards of our hearts. We need to be good stewards of this temple that belongs to God, right? So listen, on behalf of myself and our producer, Anita Alexander, I want to thank you again for spending time with us. I want to say to you, stay faithful, stay healthy.